Welcome back. I'm Rick Sanchez. He has been held in Gitmo for nearly 9 years, and now he's getting out. I'm talking about Adnan Farhan Abd al-If. He's a Yemeni who was captured on the Afghan-Pakistan border in 2001. So we're wondering, if he's been there so long, didn't he have to have done something? Who is this guy? Why is he getting out? Is he dangerous? We want to know those answers to those questions. Here to help us figure this out is Carol Rosenberg. She is a Gitmo correspondent for the Miami Herald, the newspaper that I grew up reading as a kid, the land of, let's see, Carl Hiaasen, Ed Pope, Dave Barry, just to name a few. And now Carol. Carol, thanks so much for joining us. What say you about this guy? I mean, if he was there that long, didn't he have to have done something?
Well, Mr. Adnan Abdul-Latif arrived at Guantanamo in January 2002, and his lawyer describes him as one of the most stricken, despairing, suicide-prone of the Guantanamo detainees. He's been saying all along that he was in Afghanistan and Pakistan to get Muslim charity medical treatment because as a teenager, he had suffered a head wound in a car crash in his native Yemen. Now, the Pentagon says that he was training with al-Qaeda and that he fought with the Taliban. And what happened yesterday is Judge Henry Kennedy's ruling was released saying, send this man home. The Pentagon has no evidence to back up that claim.
You know, one of the problems with these kinds of stories is, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I've read in the past that oftentimes even guys like this, who our government is now telling us may not be a terrorist, because they were in there so long, they worry about that when they get out, they will be terrorized. They will become terrorists. They will be militarized somehow to do what maybe they even weren't before. Is there a fear of that with a fellow like this?
Well, I can't speak to this specific fellow. His attorney says he just wants to get out of there. But I can tell you that there is a concern on the part of the American government that we've held innocent people so long, that if we've held innocent people so long, they may be very angry at us. And so the concern is there have been some 38 people in Guantanamo who have been ordered released by the judges. They never should have been there in the first place, the federal judges say. And you have a valid question. How angry are they at us?
Well, what are the details about his release? Because he's not out yet, but is it a done deal? Is this a slam dunk? Is he going to be getting out?
Well, that's not clear at all. First of all, he's from Yemen, and the U.S. government is still negotiating with the government of Yemen to return detainees, prisoners that the U.S. government doesn't want at Guantanamo. They'd like to send some people home, and they want reassurances from Yemen, or assurances from Yemen, that they're going to have a rehabilitation project and let people, and keep an eye on these people. And so the diplomacy hasn't worked so far. And then the second part of this is, though Judge Kennedy ordered his release on July 21st, the Justice Department is still looking at the case and deciding whether to appeal to a higher court and say, this judge got it wrong when he said there was insufficient evidence and that there was no proof in the Pentagon's argument that he was with al-Qaeda or the Taliban.
What a story. One that, you know, this is the kind of stuff that so many Americans are curious about as we deal with situations like this. Carol, good job. Carol Rosenberg following that story for us there. She's a correspondent with the Miami Herald on the Gitmo beat, as we say in South Florida. Thank you, Carol. Do you remember the story that we